Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday morning. It is a delightful, crisp autumn day here. Tony Diaz said something about the Mets. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't think that the Mets played yet. I think you're still basking in your Pete Alonso home run. I think the Phillies are still off. They haven't started the postseason yet. Sure looks like they took the night off last night. Yeah, I just looked. It's so funny, Tony, as you said that. I was like getting ready to start the live stream, and I had the uh, ESPN up here, and I just hit refresh, and I saw the score of the Jets game. My God, what a disaster! Robert Sala's got to go, right? It's got to be the end of that. Anyway, enough football out of me. Good morning, Fred and Lisa. Good morning, Tony Diaz. By the way, congratulations on your Mets win and the Phillies being awful last night. Hello, Matt Ryan. How are you today? Good morning, Ryan. Hope you are having a great day. Welcome to the live. Glad you could catch this one. We're doing a little cruise news live this morning. Hope everybody is geared up for a great Sunday. We've got a lot of football on today. Again, I refuse to believe that the Phillies played. They did not play. They're not playing today. I think they're just done. Who knows? I don't know what happened. Hello, Raymond Mullen. How are you from Nags Head, North Carolina? How is everything down there? How are you guys doing after the storms? We're going to talk about another big storm that's coming through. Hopefully that one won't hit Carolina at all. So let's get into a little cruise news. Michael Hennessy, good morning. 1 month of breakaway. I know I've been getting alerts about your trip. It keeps popping through. They were thinking about changing the itinerary, but it didn't happen. Thank God. Scott, how are you today? Your cruise getting awful closer, super close to final payment now. That's a good sign. Kyle, good morning. On the NCL Jewel in 3 days. Any tips or advice for the Jewel or Alaska? So yeah, tons. So great question. We'll do that before we get into news. Katie Myers, good morning. So Kyle, the Jewel is a great ship. So just soak it all in, right? There's a lot to do. There's a lot of specialty dining if you like specialty dining. You're not embroiled in the more at sea, free at sea disaster at the moment. So you just have your standard free at sea there. So use that. They do a lot of fun things in Bliss, the Bliss Ultra Lounge there, which is a really nice. The theater's beautiful. Go to the theater. They have the Asian food that's included, which is right outside of teppanyaki there. So definitely try that. That is great. If you like the casino, they have a really nice casino on board, Jewel. I think those are my good ones. For Alaska, I assume you're going to Ketchikan. Ketchikan is one of my favorite ports. If you're wandering around Alaska, make sure you go see the Lumberjack Show. That is amazing. That's my biggest tip for Alaska. And for Alaska, it's just get off the ship and just walk around. Enjoy. It's like once in a lifetime bucket list stuff. Really, really take advantage of that. Be out on the deck for the glaciers and everything. It's amazing. No matter where you're at on the ship spins around and moves around. So you'll be able to see a lot of those fun things. Ryan said some more. At sea is NCL's way of increasing the price of free at sea. I'm really not convinced the changes are good. Maybe after I experience free. Yeah, we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the cruise news. I have a little follow-up story about it. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of a cash grab. Not surprising, right? I'm not surprised. It doesn't surprise me about NCL. We'll get into that a little bit. Ryan said last minute on Joy 1011. That's awesome. 5 days away. That is incredible. Hope you have a wonderful time on Joy. I loved my recent sailing on Joy. Get in line early for those shows. Although Joy, you don't have to worry about the Sid Norman's, just the Cavern Club, which isn't as bad. And you can see the Beatles in the main theater. So that'll be fun. Good morning, Hope. Go Eagles for sure. They don't play today, which is nice because the Phillies didn't play last night. So there you have. I'm not bitter at all about it, as you can easily see. All right, let's talk some cruise news. So Icon of the Sea completed their repairs in their quick little dry dock that they did. Actually wasn't a dry dock, just a maintenance. They were having some issues. They did not release what those issues were or how they fixed them. They just announced that the repairs have been completed. The next cruise is going to go off without a hitch, and everything will be fine. So good news there. It's definitely great. Charlie said, good morning, sitting on the beach at Ocean Key right now. That is amazing. I am super jealous. It is 50 degrees here. So that is awesome. How's it going, Charlie? How's the cruise going? Let me know. Hope it's a tough day. Tough day so far. Next bit of cruise news is we are bracing for Hurricane Milton. So looks like it's going to be a hurricane for sure. So Craig Setzer, who is, if you didn't know, Royal Caribbean has a meteorologist. His name is Craig Setzer. He is keeping a close eye on this. Obviously, this is going to be a weird one because it's going to take place in the middle of the week. It's supposed to make landfall somewhere around Tampa on Wednesday. Could be a category 3, could be a little higher depending on what happens over the next couple of days. They are keeping track of it. Final decision is really up to the captain to determine the best approach. My guess is some of the itineraries may be changing this week, but it is interesting when it comes in the middle of a week because a lot of times I think that's a little bit better because the cruise ships can kind of just get out of the way and be prepared for that a little better than if it's the coming in and it's the day before, the next ship is leaving and everything gets delayed and everything. So generally they can avoid those things, which is very, very good. And let's hope they definitely do that. Sandy, how are you? Sandy, you are in my my vlogs that I've just posted. So I posted you guys aren't in them really, but I posted about hanging out with you guys in day 5 and day 6 of the vlogs, which are either out or coming out. It's funny when you don't know what videos were out. So my 5 came out the other day, so that you guys are in that one, and then 6 comes out tomorrow, so you guys will be in that one as well. You guys were awesome to hang out with. I'm glad Sandy is here. She wants to know what shows are on Odyssey of the Seas. So first of all, you will have the 270 show. Here's my thing with the 270 shows. They're weird, right? It's such a cool venue. I don't understand why they don't get better things for that venue. To me, like on Anthem, Odyssey, Quantum, and all those, I find that the best iterations of those shows in 270 are the ones that take place like it's just like the testing of it. I don't know why. So the one is like I guess the easiest, it's like a showgirls thing. It's weird. So you will have the effectors on board, which is a cool show. It's not my favorite show, but that show's pretty cool. You have Showgirl, which is the show in 270. It's not as good. Like to me, when you go on Anthem, at least they have We Will Rock You, which is a really weird show. But the music's great. So, what are you going to do? And then the other show in 270 is called Oceanides. And that one's pretty cool. Again, the technology in 270 is amazing. I don't know why they don't have better shows in there, but those are the shows for Odyssey. Not the best iteration of shows, but there's plenty of things to do on Odyssey. You will have some daily stuff in the theaters as well upcoming. So, it's okay. Ryan said, booked a few days ago, couldn't beat the price, hoping we could sail to Bermuda, giving the storms on the horizon. Go Pats. Look, you got a rough one there with the Patriots as well. My God. So you should be okay to Bermuda. It's going to really depend on the weather. We shall see. Yeah, it's going to be iffy for sure, depending on where the storm goes. I hope you can get to Bermuda because that will be great. It might be best case scenario where you're just moving over there to the east, so maybe it's better, but I'm not sure yet. 2 Old Farts, good morning. How are you guys doing? Hope said, I'd really like to try Royal Caribbean, but we need a drink package. Does this make Royal Caribbean more expensive than other cruise lines that have the drink package? It does. Royal Caribbean is more expensive in general. They're just more expensive. There's more to do. They have the industry lead on all of the great things that are going on in the ship, especially if you go Oasis class. So yeah, there's no real way around that. The drink package is expensive. So it could be up to $100 and some per person per day. It's just going to come down to, so my my thing now with the drink package for all the different cruise lines, and we're going to talk about this a little bit with More at Sea, is really do the math better. Start, especially with Norwegian not including bottles of water, but start doing the math in your head, right? So if you do if you know your drinks are about $14, and you can look up the menus. So if you do 14 times 6, that's $84. So if you paid a la carte, you're already at $84 for the day. So if then you got a coffee or a water or a soda on top of that, the drink package starts to make sense. I drink 2 or 3 drinks a day. At the most, I'm going to drink 2 or 3 drinks a day, right? It's usually I think on my last cruise, I had 3 drinks the whole cruise. So I had a glass of wine one night. I had one of those toasted marshmallow old fashions and one other one. So doesn't make sense for me. I'm Diamond Plus, so I get 5 free drinks. So it's never an issue for me. But, you guys aren't going to be Diamond Plus walking or Diamond walking in the door. So you're going to have to figure out if it makes sense. So what I do for every one of my cruises, I kind of put down the cruise fare. I put down gratuities. I kind of figure out excursions, air, whatever I'm doing. And then I layer on top drinks, dining, all of those things. What's important to you? So yes, it's important. Yes, it's going to be more money. But more money than what, right? You have to compare apples to apples. If you got the Norwegian drink package or you got this other cruise drink package and then you layered things on top of it, you might see that it's probably pretty close. But you definitely have to take a look at it. Now, MSC, where drinks are included, is going to be way cheaper, right? So it's just, you got to catch the right deal at the right time. Myers fam, morning all. Look to the information today. Yeah, a little more cruise news. We got some fun things going on. Kathy is here. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. So next crazy bit of cruise news. Carnival passenger was banned for life. I know you guys probably have seen this one. This woman was on a Carnival cruise in April. I guess it just got popular. Came out this week. I saw Ship Life did a story on it. And then Tony and Don did a story on it. But this woman somehow took a handgun on board a Carnival ship and had it in her safe and did a video on social media about it. The people on social media that just incriminate themselves, and I don't know, is this all for attention? Do people do all that for attention? I don't understand it. But she got caught. She has been banned for life from Carnival, obviously. I don't know how she got a gun on board. It's not surprising to me because when we were on board, they have all these security measures in place, seemingly all these security measures in place, and yet there's drugs and everything all over the ship. It's very scary. If someone's able to get a gun on board the ship, God only knows what could happen. That's all we need, right? Is to have some kind of shenanigans going on board of cruise ships with guns. Don't need it. Don't want it. Next up on Radiance of the Seas, we had a salmonella outbreak, which is pretty crazy. I thought it was norovirus initially, but it's now been categorized as salmonella. For all the news, seems like they did a great job. They were promoting good hygiene. They were taking samples to make sure people were okay, to try to get the situation assessed. This took place on Radiance from Vancouver to Alaska, September 20th to the 27th. Pretty crazy. One of the things I always, whenever I see these and somebody asks me about norovirus or salmonella, one of the things I always like to bring up is this happens everywhere. It happens in hotels. It happens in daycares. It happens in colleges. Happens all over the country. What the thing is that most people don't know is that in a weird way, the CDC has a little bit of a purview and oversight on the cruise industry, as we all saw during the pandemic, where the CDC was involved in shutting down cruising, which didn't happen to hotels or anything else. It's because the CDC was involved. Hotels, daycares, colleges don't have to report norovirus, salmonella, any of these things to the CDC. You're only hearing about it because it has to be reported by the cruise lines. So it happens everywhere. There's no greater risk going on a cruise than there is going to a buffet restaurant on land, which is disgusting, which they're probably disgusting anyway. So yeah, things happen. Crazy things happen all the time. It's they did a good job handling it. The ship was clean. Everything else looks pretty good. So thank God everything's cleared up there. But I always like to tell people, right? It's only because they have to advertise that you hear about it. And it was only the 10th case this year of GI issues on a cruise, which is actually pretty good considering there are hundreds and hundreds of cruises every week. So nothing too terrible. Tony said this happened on a Carnival ship. How surprising. It is. I mean, it continues to just be comical at this point with Carnival. It's insane. Ryan said, did you catch Harry Summers' comments on add-ons? I'm constantly amazed at his brash comments. You'll have a guest who books an inside cabin, never takes a shore excursion, and goes to the buffet, walks off to the ship with $0 spent on their bill, but they aren't a happy cruiser. That's not the case. I don't understand, right? I go on plenty of cruises, as we know, right? I'm on a cruise almost every month. AJ's on a cruise a couple times a year. Meg's on a cruise a couple times a year. You don't have to do a bunch of things to have a good time. Everybody has a different agenda when they go on a cruise. Some people really enjoy going to the ports and running around. Some people just want to lay by the pool and read a book all day. Some people want to get drunk and party and have a great time. Some people want to dance all night and do all those different things. There's no one size fits all for cruising. So it's crazy that people say that if you take an inside cabin, this basically explains a lot of my cruises. I book an inside cabin, never take a shore excursion. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't go to the buffet, obviously, but sometimes I do. But I mean, like, that's not my primary meals, and doesn't spend any dollars and they aren't a happy cruise. That's not true. I've definitely had amazing cruises. I just went on Royal. Now I spent some money on specialty dining, but I didn't do anything. I barely got off the ship. I wandered around. I had an amazing time because there's a ton of great things to do on the ship. Maybe if you had great shows on the ship and you didn't just try to cash grab everybody with bingo and all your other crazy little things, more people would have an amazing time. Yeah, it's crazy, Ryan. I don't understand it. It's just silly sometimes how out of touch rich people are, right? The uber not people that make a lot of money, but these like uber rich companies just don't understand their look. I've said it for years. In cruising in general, Royal Caribbean is amazing at marketing. Whether you love their pricing, you don't love it, whatever the issue is, they are amazing at marketing. They know exactly who their audience is. They market to those audiences. They're sold out every week. Everybody's having a great time. As much as Carnival wants to say that they want to clean up their image, they're sold out every week. They feed into the twerking on the deck and the crazy parties and everything because that's their demographic, and they enjoy that demographic of the people who want to come on a cruise ship, drink their 15 drinks a day, get hammered, and have a great time. All good. Norwegian is one of those cruise lines that I don't think they really understand who their market is. I said this about Prima. Ship is beautiful. It's weird. It's a weird ship, but it's beautiful. And then you go up and they have a race car track and beer pong. And you're like, well, are you competing with Princess or are you competing with Carnival? And I don't think they know. And the fact that he says stuff like that, where it's like, hey, if you just go on an inside cabin, then don't offer it, right? If you think those people aren't for you, then make a suites only ship, right? Put your money where your mouth is. If you don't think people are having a good time because they go on an inside cabin, then why do you sell all those inside cabins? You're not taking their money, right? Crazy stuff. Thank you, Hope. Myers family said, I agree, very great at marketing. Yeah, Royal's really good at marketing. Good morning, Rick. How are you today? So, yeah, I mean, just crazy. We'll get into that in a few minutes. I'm going to bring up more at sea again. So Carnival Radiance, the other Radiance, was in a quick dry dock. They just had a few things done. They had inspections and some maintenance work and some minor updates to the public areas and staterooms. Nothing too crazy, but they are back in business now as well. My allergies are awful today, so I apologize. I keep drinking and I'm sure I'm sniffling a lot. Next bit of cruise news. Carnival is adding a fourth ship to Galveston. This is crazy how big Galveston is getting. It's wild. I enjoyed the port there. It's a nightmare to get to Houston, back to Houston after your cruise. But the port is very nice. It was very quick. They're adding Carnival Miracle. It's going down there October 16th. It'll be doing 9 to 12-day sailings, 19 trips to Jamaica, the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Costa Rica, and Panama, which is pretty cool. That is awesome. I love seeing ports get bigger and bigger. That's really fun. Speaking of drinks, speaking of Royal Caribbean, back in around July-ish, Royal Caribbean stopped offering the buy one, get one drink package on board. So this makes total sense to me. They used to have this thing where the first day of your cruise, some people would walk around and offer you the buy one, get one drink package. So what do you think people did? They waited till they got on board to buy the drink package. Royal did away with this in July because they don't want people to wait till they get on board. This is exactly why cruise pricing generally doesn't drop towards the end, coming up on sailing. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but most times they want you to book as far out as possible. Same thing with this drink package for Royal. They want you to book it before you get on the cruise. So the best deals you're going to get are pre-cruise. Once you get on the ship, you're no longer going to get that BOGO offer. It's going to be $100 and whatever dollars per day per person, which is insane. Next up, Villa V finally is sailing. I'm so over this cruise line and those people. Yeah, it's not for me. So I'll watch the videos and see what's going on, but definitely not for me. And it's just a debacle how long it took to get all of that done, and setting those expectations were insane. They should have waited and done it right. It just leads me down the path of like, if you, I don't even want to say lie, but if you are like disingenuous with, you don't understand the process, you don't understand how long it's going to take to get this ship going, you didn't understand that there was paperwork that needed to be filled out or things that you had to be certified, all of those things. So you can plead ignorance or you can plead deception. Either way, it doesn't bode well for moving forward on that cruise. Where are they going to forget, oh, by the way, it's going to be X amount of dollars more because we forgot about this, or this needs to be repaired. I would never, at some point somebody's going to build a brand new ship for this type of lifestyle. And I think that will be a better scenario than using a 30-year-old ship. I have no interest in. So just my 2 cents. Robin said, good morning. Curious what you would say MSC vibe is, since we'll be going on our first MSC cruise in February. So Robin, it depends on what port you go out of. So if you go out of Florida, it's going to be a very European international feel on MSC. So I've gone out on Seascape, Seashore, Magnifica, all out of Florida. Those are very heavy European influence, lots of smoking, but they're in their smoking areas. Just be aware when you go into the smoking areas, there's a lot of smoking going on MSC. But they have restricted smoking. They don't allow it in the casinos anymore, which is good. There is like a small smoking casino in the sports bar. So stay away from that unless you want to smoke. And then I find it, some people like the European vibes, some people don't. I kind of like it. I enjoy seeing people of different cultures and talking to them. Some people are like, well, they're rude or whatever. I never find that. I find that 99, this is the same thing with like stupid politics, right? So I find that 99% or 98%, whatever it is, right, of the people that are on cruises are awesome, right? They're the same people like us. They love to go on cruises. They love to say hi to other people. You ask them about their experiences. Look, I'm pretty introverted, but I will ask people like, hey, where are you from? What are you guys doing? How do you enjoy your cruise? I find those people to be awesome and super engaging, just like all the other people in the world. But it's the same thing, right? With politics, with YouTube, right? We see it all the time. The people that get the most attention are the people that are on the margins. So the crazy ones on this side for politics, the crazy right, the crazy left. For YouTube, it's the super negative, right? Those people get all the attention. Like I saw Griffin Alyssa did a video this week, and it's like went on Carnival to see if it was ghetto and trashy. No, you didn't. You've been on Carnival before. You know what the deal is. They've been on a ton of Carnival cruises. And like Ben and David with the, NCL the state of NCL is all of these like super negative things that everyone clicks on. I find that the vibe on MSC is just like the vibe everywhere else for the most part. Most people are super cool, and then you have your little fringes, right? So you have crazy people on all cruises, but definitely more European down in Florida. Definitely more New York feel out of Brooklyn, right? So you get the little more, there's a personality type, right? We're from, right? Like I live in the Northeast. I get it. So I was joking. I went to see Book of Mormon yesterday, and we were walking through Philly. Judy and I were walking through Philly, and she was like, it's like a big melting pot. It's a fun city, and I was like, it's funny how, because we saw a lot of New Yorkers there, the Mets people apparently there was a baseball game. I don't know, but so the Mets people were there, and I was like, it's funny how similar Philly, New York, Boston, how the people are very similar, but we all hate each other, right? Because it's sports teams and everything else. So that there's a little New York edge if you go on Merivelia out of New York. So you're getting like the little impatience of the Northeast, right? The like, hey, let's go, get out of the way. Like, let's move it. Let's get on the ship. Let's get to the bar. Let's do what we got to do. It's a little more brash. If you go out of Florida, a little more laid back. But I think you're going to find that the vibe is great. It's great people. Cruising people are great. They love to talk. They love to share experiences with you, and very helpful, I find, and very nice. And then you have your crazy people. That's all. But you're going to have a great time. I hope you have a great time. Ryan said, Villa V finally hit C. Not for me. Amen to that. Same. Myers fam said, as an extrovert, I enjoy talking to everyone. Yeah, so I'm very much in the middle, right? I'm pretty much an introvert that plays an extrovert for work. So I've learned to do it, but then I just need to, pull back and recharge my batteries. So I do like to just get back to my room, veg out, I get some work done, and then I'm like recharged to go out and talk to people again. So last thing today, more at sea continues to haunt my life. Let's talk about it. So I have a bunch of people on Norwegian, obviously cruises next year, and there's been zero consistency with the policies so far. I was told if you have free at sea and you're after January 1st, you will get the more at sea drink package and everything else will be the same as your old free at sea. Some people have called and said, nope, I was switched to more at sea. I have called and all of my customers are still on free at sea except the more at sea drink package. So I'm assuming, I'm not saying that people are lying to me. I'm just saying that I've gotten feedback that that's not the case. I've also heard that the free at sea plus will be canceled and refunded to the whatever credit card or whatever you used. I have not seen that happen yet. I have Leslie, I haven't seen Leslie this morning here yet, but Leslie, who is booked on 4 back-to-backs on Epic in February, and her free at sea plus is still there. So I have no idea. Hypothetically, it's going to be removed and refunded, but I don't know. But here's the thing. I saw a comment on my video, the more at sea video. And let me pull it up just so I am not paraphrasing. So someone said more at sea is not free. I just booked a cruise for next September, was charged for the more at sea drinks package and specialty dining in total. Cost me an extra $700. When I asked NCL customer service about this, they said it's not free. Buyer beware, as literature from NCL is vague and misleading. I think now it's less vague and misleading than it ever was, because it's not free at sea anymore. It's more at sea. There's definitely a charge for it. Before, it used to be, I think, vaguely hid in the context that you were just paying for tips. But look, here's my thing. If you look at the packages, and I don't like what NCL did, let's be honest. I don't like more at sea. I don't like the switch. I think if you were doing something like this, the stupidity of doing something like this, in my opinion, and changing the free at sea, which was a huge, let's be honest, right? It was a huge like differentiator for NCL to get people on their ships, whether you like it or not. I appreciate the changing of the name from free to more. It's great because it's not free. It was never free. Here's the deal. If you're going to redo free at sea and make it more at sea, The drink package, whatever, right? Whatever your feelings are, it's so dumb that they didn't include bottled water. It's so dumb. The Starbucks thing, fine, whatever. Royal doesn't include Starbucks in their package either. So I have no problem with that. Bottled water, dumb. And then the second thing is, if you're going to do a new package like this, instead of doing the excursion credits, I get they want people to go on excursions. I think it would have made a ton more sense to say, okay, we're going to do the drink package with water. We're going to do prepaid gratuities and unlimited Wi-Fi and call it a day and go up against Princess Plus and Princess Premier. Or maybe do the drink package without water, do the, whatever, the internet and dining, and then make the free it's more at sea plus have like the bottled water and coffee maybe and Starbucks, and then have you get the additional shore excursion credits, additional dining, whatever it is on the plus one, and with your prepaid gratuities. It just doesn't make sense to me the way that they did it, but you still have to look at it from both sides of it and say, okay, if you are going on Royal Caribbean or you're going on Norwegian, it's still, the drink package is still way less on Norwegian. Even if you start buying bottled water, it's still going to be way less. $30 a day is way less than $100 a day. It's $70. You're not drinking 13 bottles of water. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I just don't like the way they disregard their customers. It's like, and then they just, they act like everybody's stupid. I hate that. Ryan said, hey, I'm walking here. New Yorkers get a bad rap. It's the same. Philly, New York, Boston. It's all the same. It's the same character. Tony said, my dad hates cruising with me because he says I can have an hour-long conversation with a rock. That's awesome. That's great, Tony. It's a very, very endearing personality trait. Kathy said, NCL cruise consultants aren't sure about the changes. So look, here's the thing. This is why, nobody has to book with me, right? You don't have to book with me. It's fine. You can book with whoever you want to book with. But don't book direct with the cruise lines. Those people know less than everyone else. Those poor people are just customer service reps that are answering the phone. So there's so much confusion about different things if you call in to any of the cruise lines. So use an actual travel advisor. We are talking to the reps, the higher ups, all the other people, and we can bitch and moan and hopefully get things fixed. So, or changed a little bit or help you in some way. So yeah, Kathy, I agree. I've called a bunch of times and they have no idea. It's sad. Hope said, I really wanted to try the Prima. Now I don't know with the more at sea change. Depends, right? Depends on pricing, everything else. I'm on Prima next year. I don't really care. It doesn't affect my life in a tremendous way, either way. But it's silly. Kathy said, bad decision by NCL. I agree. I mean, they could have done a way better job with this. They could have made better changes and won this thing. It could have been like, holy crap, they did this. It's great. It's like better than Princess Plus, or it's better than Princess Premier. Because I think that's really who their competition is. Celebrity and Princess, more than it is Royal and Carnival. Thank you, Myers fam. Kathy said, excursion credit for all, unlimited Wi-Fi, bottled water. Seems simple, right? Seems simple, but it's not. Yeah, is what it is. That's it. That is our cruise news for today. This was a good little therapy session for us all. I am going to go watch football and pretend that baseball doesn't exist. And then next Wednesday, we'll be back on more vlogs and stuff coming out this week from AJ and myself. The Jets are still losing, so at least there's some silver lining in there. So Wednesday, back on with the live stream. Remember, now we're giving away coffee and a t-shirt every week instead of a book, because apparently nobody reads. We will be doing a t-shirt every week. I just think it's a better giveaway than a book. So we'll be doing those. You get a Byte Size Cruises t-shirt. Tony Diaz said, just a reminder, there's a baseball game I have no idea what you're talking about. All I know is it's going to affect my ability to go to the grocery store later because of traffic. So everyone have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy the day. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will see everybody Wednesday, and have a good one. Happy cruising. Bye. Bye.